Trade in and drive home today in your new Chevrolet. You'll love your car buying experience at PageChevrolet.com.
Good morning, America. Inside that miracle rescue. The brand new images out this morning, how the brave crew got the entire soccer team and their coach out just in time, avoiding a near disaster. Now the latest on those children recovering in the hospital, and the American mission commander who helped lead the dramatic rescue to save them is on GMA this morning.
Tense talks. President Trump confronts America's allies this morning. Harsh words moments ago at the high-stakes NATO meeting. And as he prepares for the one-on-one with Russian President Vladimir Putin, the president says that may be the easiest of them all.
Lucky to be alive. This plane crashed into Alaska's mountainside, and somehow all 11 people on board surviving. Coast Guard helicopters airlifting them to safety.
The new surveillance video of George Clooney's crash, the star on that scooter slamming into the windshield of an oncoming car at nearly 65 miles per hour. What we're learning about his condition this morning.
And close encounter. The Instagram model who went swimming with the sharks, posing for photos when all of a sudden she gets bitten.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA. With Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
We do say good morning, America, on this Wednesday morning. Of course, we're going to begin with that triumph in Thailand and those new details about the daring rescue to get those 12 boys and their soccer coach to safety.
Let's take a look at the big moment. There it is. The last rescuers emerged from the cave. We heard those cheers. We also heard some very, very grateful people for that incredible work.
Absolutely grateful and absolutely incredible. And a big thumbs up from those brave divers who stayed with the boys from the moment they found them until everyone was safely out. And in just a moment, we're going to hear from the American commander who helped lead that rescue mission. But first, ABC's Matt Gutman is at the cave site this morning. Good morning to you, Matt.
Hey, good morning, Michael. And they almost did not get out safely. The incident commander here telling me this morning that right after they got out, that 13th person, that coach, the main pump in that cave failed. It started flooding. And had this happened 2 hours earlier, it would have marooned the last 4 boys and their coach inside. This morning, we learned that that miracle mission was hours away from catastrophe. Had you waited one more day, what do you think would have happened?
I think that the third day will be very difficult for us because the rain is coming.
So instead of swimming the equivalent of 7 football fields, the boys would have had to have gone over a mile underwater. Impossible, the governor told us in an exclusive interview. The main pump, whose hoses you see here, which have been siphoning off hundreds of millions of gallons, had failed right after the 13th member of the group, the coach, was rescued. Thai Navy SEALs and others abandoning equipment and hundreds of air tanks inside. The governor of this region has led the search and rescue mission since shortly after the cave seemed to swallow the 12 boys and their soccer coach on June 23rd. He said many of the boys were too weak to walk or swim much. That cave filled up with water, right? You had to evacuate everything.
Everything because we finished the mission.
Rescuers positioned a doctor in each of the 9 chambers to evaluate the boys' condition as they passed through. The coach, who many are calling a hero for sharing his rations with his team and keeping them calm through meditation, was reportedly in poor health. Sources tell us he was shivering and seemed to have been suffering from hypothermia. The rescue mission was so treacherous for the children, the Thai Prime Minister revealing the boys were given anti-anxiety medication before their trek out to help prevent them from panicking. Meanwhile, late Tuesday, cheers as those final ambulances rushed to the hospital.
Everybody smile and no more tear.
Volunteers singing and dancing in celebration. Those raw emotions after 18 days of nerve-wracking uncertainty. And we are learning more about the heroes who have emerged. 14-year-old Adun Saman is a refugee, and he lives in Thailand without his parents, who are in Myanmar. He speaks 5 languages, including English, and was able to communicate the needs of the team to the first British dive team who discovered them. Tell me about Adun.
Everything he does just seems to excel. seems to be such a quality kid with a bright future.
The Thai Navy SEALs continue to mourn the loss of one of their own, 38-year-old Saman Kunan, who died in these caves. He was so touched by the plight of these boys that he came out of retirement to help. Just days earlier, he posted this video online as he boarded his flight to join the rescue effort. Nevertheless, those 90 or so Thai Navy SEAL divers receiving a round of applause and shouts of thanks as they emerged from the cave and jubilantly hooting as they left the base camp for the final time. The excitement extending to the U.S. military stationed in Chamber Number 3. They had helped transfer the boys to the medics waiting at the entrance to the cave.
Our group consisted of pararescuemen as well as support personnel. We have medical, communications, logistics. All hands were on deck for this effort. This morning, as that makeshift village that was built around the cave's entrance clears out, Thai officials announcing it will be turned into a world-class tourist attraction. They're even thinking of preserving some of the rescuers' uniforms for a museum. Now, the governor telling me the boys will serve as monks for a time after leaving the hospital, and I asked him, what did they say when they came out of that cave? He said, well, most of them said they were hungry. I asked, did the soccer players want to see their parents or give them a hug? He said, not really. What they wanted most, he said, was to watch the World Cup. Soccer players to the core, George.
Okay, Matt, thanks. Let's bring in the mission commander in charge of U.S. operations, Major Charles Hodges. Major, first of all, congratulations. What a mission.
Thank you, sir.
Walk us through what this was like for the boys. Such an arduous mission, such a complicated mission, and I would think for them so scary.
Yes, sir, absolutely. So they'd been in the cave for multiple days before they were even found. So in my mind, the psychological factors were probably some of the most intense issues that were impacting them. But understand that every time that one of the rescue divers came back there and they left, we had no communications with them. So
for several hours?
For 24 hours or more at a time, they would have no contact with the outside world. And I'm sure those kids were absolutely scared. However, they were also ready, willing, and volunteered to come out when it was finally decided that we were going to do this. There were multiple boys that were saying, yep, I'm ready to do this. Let's get out of here. 2 divers per boy, and those boys were wrapped up tight. Yes, sir, they were. It ended up being normally 1 diver per boy just because we had a minimal amount of divers, but they were absolutely wrapped up tight and taken care of well getting out of there. And even though we knew that this was extremely risky with a low probability of success. And when they were in the middle of the cave working their way back, you guys had limited or no communication with them? That's true. Past the 3rd chamber, there was no communications. It's just you can't get through that much rock to get communications back out to our operations center. So we had to be really smart in how the mission planning went so that everyone knew exactly what their role was. And so when they left the 3rd chamber, it was all on them to get the job accomplished. What was the scariest moment for you during this mission? Was there any moment at all when you questioned whether all the boys would get out alive? Yes, sir. I think we questioned that the whole time through. So even though we got 4 for 4 the first day, it was not much more than cautious optimism the next day because we knew the risk had not gone down any at all. We were concerned about complacency, so we were very attentive to making sure that we remained vigilant. But even after we got 4 for 4 on the 2nd day as well, the risk hadn't gone down any at all. So I'm incredibly impressed with the way that it worked out, but at the same time, candidly, I was thinking that it would be much worse results. This all came out so well. The entire world excited watching this all happen, watching the successful rescue. But this isn't exactly the kind of thing you trained for, is it? No, sir, absolutely not. So we trained for rescue diving, and at times we've trained for cave rescue, but we don't ever train for cave rescue diving operations, and no one has ever done anything like this before. I don't know that there's anyone that trains to go 2.5 kilometers down into a cave that's submerged 60 or 70% of the way. What an incredible team effort. The SEALs, the doctors, everyone connected to this mission. Everybody kept their eyes focused on the mission of reuniting the kids with the parents, and you know, this story isn't without some tragedy with the ex-Navy SEAL, Saman Cunan that passed away. I look at him as a hero, somebody willing to sacrifice for those that he didn't even know. But at the end of the day, this is a good news story that we can all gravitate towards.
And we do remember that tie seal. Major, thanks very much.
Thank you, sir.
Boy, you know, the death of that tie seal reminds us how risky this mission was, and the Major just said it there again. This could have gone the other way, but everything came together so well.
Such a united effort. It was a united force of humanity at work that we saw on display.
Everybody's happy to see the way it turned out.
Yeah, that's true. We're going to turn now to President Trump at that high-stakes summit with NATO leaders in Belgium this morning. Tensions are running high. Our chief foreign correspondent, Terry Moran, is there in Brussels. He has the very latest. Good morning, Terry.
Good morning, Robin. Well, this NATO summit is sure off to a rocky start. You know, American presidents for decades have had plenty of problems with European allies, but judging from this morning, President Trump is already taking that to a whole new level. It was just a breakfast meeting with NATO's leadership, but the coffee got cold as President Trump erupted to reporters and came out swinging at a major U.S. ally.
Germany is totally controlled by Russia.
The president hurling a stinging critique there of Germany's recent $12 billion gas pipeline deal with Russia, a country NATO calls the greatest threat to the alliance.
I think it's very sad when Germany makes a massive oil and gas deal with Russia, where you're supposed to be guarding against Russia, and Germany goes out and pays billions and billions of dollars a year to Russia.
Top U.S. and NATO officials sat there squirming.
Despite these differences, we have always been able to unite around our core task to protect and defend each other, because we understand that we are stronger together than apart.
But President Trump wasn't buying any of it.
Germany, as far as I'm concerned, is captive to Russia because it's getting so much of its energy from Russia. So we're supposed to protect Germany, but they're getting their energy from Russia. Explain that. And it can't be explained.
So it looks like it's going to be a long summit, 2 more days with Mr. Trump, like previous U.S. presidents, demanding the allies pay more of NATO's costs, but doing it his way. When he left the White House Tuesday, he sounded a lot friendlier when talking about his one-on-one meeting next week with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
So I have NATO, I have the UK, which is in somewhat turmoil, and I have Putin. Frankly, Putin may be the easiest of them all. Who would think?
Well, the question a lot of Europeans are asking is, does President Trump want to reform NATO or blow it up? Meanwhile, First Lady Melania Trump is accompanying the president on this trip, her first overseas trip since Asia last year. She's recovering well from surgery, it looks like, because she's got several events, a concert, a fashion event, and she'll be promoting here her Be Best initiative. Robin?
All right, Terry, thanks so much.
Okay, we're going to move on now, get the latest on the battle for the Supreme Court. The president's pick, Judge Brett Kavanaugh, met with key senators on Capitol Hill Tuesday. He was joined by Vice President Mike Pence as Democrats zero in on their main arguments. Our chief White House correspondent John Carl tracking it all. And John, White House pretty confident, but Democrats are promising the fight of a lifetime.
Kavanaugh has just started meeting with senators on Capitol Hill. Republicans only so far, but you are right. Democrats are launching an all-out war to try to defeat this nomination. They will focus on 3 key areas, trying to portray Kavanaugh as somebody that would overturn Roe v. Wade, somebody that would rule against Obamacare, and somebody who would protect Donald Trump against the independent counsel. But, George, to do this, they will have to convince every single Democrat to vote no, including those who supported his last nominee and who are up for re-election in solidly Republican states. And they will have to convince one Republican to go no as well.
And meantime, Kavanaugh's team is encouraged by the first comments, at least, from one of those Republicans who seem to be on the fence, Senator Susan Collins of Maine.
Yes, Susan Collins of Maine said she would not support him if he were hostile to Roe v. Wade. And she says she sees no indication right now that he is, although she still wants to talk to him about that.
John Carl, thanks very much. Michael?
All right, thank you, George. Now to breaking news overnight. A deadly gas explosion rocking a Wisconsin town. You see the video there. Buildings destroyed, cars on fire, multiple people sent to the hospital. ABC's Alex Perez has the latest.
This explosion ripping apart Main Street in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, leveling several buildings, shutting down downtown Sun Prairie, and sending huge clouds of black smoke through the air.
We felt this boom, and I thought something landed on our roof. It was so loud.
The gas main exploded, caused the building to be on fire.
Firefighters are battling the fire throughout the night, forcing police to evacuate residents within a half-mile radius.
We need to get everybody away from the buildings, and we need to clear the perimeter.
Officials say evacuations were underway for a gas leak, potentially saving lives, when 40 minutes later, the explosion sent shockwaves through the community.
There was this big boom, and it knocked me to the ground, and I felt it like it took the breath out of my body. Ran outside, and I saw a mushroom cloud.
Authorities say 2 firefighters were injured, one of them dying at the hospital. Several other first responders treated at the scene.
And you can see behind me here, authorities have created a huge safety perimeter. They are still not allowing anyone near that explosion site. Investigators say they must first inspect all of those damaged structures. Robin?
Want everybody to stay safe. All right, Alex, thank you. Now to that amazing survival story. All 11 people on board a plane in Alaska making it out alive after it crashed into a mountainside. ABC's Will Carr has that story.
11 people miraculously walking away from the wreckage of this plane crash on the side of a rugged Alaskan mountain. From this aerial picture, you can see the plane surrounded by rocks on a treacherous part of Prince of Wales Island in southeast Alaska, somehow still intact. The propellers twisted, the passengers shaken. No one died after the single-engine float plane on a flight plan set to land in Ketchikan crashed into Mount Jumbo Tuesday morning. The pilot immediately calling 911. 2 U.S. Coast Guard helicopters swooped in, pushing through thick fog and low visibility. The rescue crews hoisting 10 passengers and the pilot up into a helicopter one by one.
They're obviously excited to see us, but equally as much we're excited to see them.
The survivors flown to the hospital in nearby Ketchikan. One remains in serious condition. The majority, though, have been treated and released.
It truly says something to the communities here in Alaska and the American spirit that people responded the way they did today.
The NTSB is now investigating the cause of this crash, and the operator of the plane says it's cooperating with that investigation. And this morning, there is a lot of credit being given to both the rescue crews and to the pilot for getting everyone onto the ground safely, and what a story they have to tell. Robin.
That's right, Will. Thank goodness for those responders.
No doubt in that, Robin. We're going to turn now to the World Cup, and as they say, viva la France. The streets of Paris exploded in excitement overnight after France shut out Belgium 1-0 in the World Cup semifinal. Thousands gathered in the city center. See there, they're setting off fireworks. They're partying on top of cars and trucks.
That looks like Philly after the Eagles win.
It's only the semifinals.
No, that's mild compared to Philly after the Eagles win. But this photo pretty much summed it up. The president of France happened to be watching the game next to the king and queen of Belgium, who don't look as happy as he does. Yeah, that's a little awkward, right? Okay. Oh, boy. England, they face Croatia this afternoon in the other semifinal. But it's going to be a great World Cup. It's really been great.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I'm just so taken back by that photo. All right, now we're going to go to Ginger with the high fire danger and heat that's out in the west. Hey, Ginger.
Hey there, Michael, and hi, everybody. You know, we are, a lot of us, familiar with Griffith Park Observatory in Los Angeles. All the people there, the brush fire breaks out. They had to evacuate 2,000 people from that park. Fortunately, nobody injured, but look at that. The cars suffered a different fate. A quick look at the relative humidity, still very low and very hot there. Your local weather in 30 seconds. First, the hot cities, sponsored by Oral-B.
I was on the fence about changing from a manual to an electric toothbrush, but my hygienist said going electric could lead to way cleaner teeth. She said get the one inspired by dentists, with the round brush head.
Go pro with Oral-B. Oral-B's gentle rounded brush head removes more plaque along the gum line for cleaner teeth and healthier gums. And unlike Sonicare, Oral-B is the first electric toothbrush brand accepted by the ADA for its effectiveness and safety.
What an amazing clean. I'll only use an Oral-B.
Oral-B. Brush like a pro.
Okay, out the door this morning, it's warm. It's a little muggy. Your temperatures in the mid to upper 70s across the area. By lunchtime, mid 80s, but with a cold front now making its way through our area late today as we hit a temperature of 90 to 91 degrees. You'll notice the humidity falling, so it's going to feel pretty nice late today and pretty good too for the end of the work week. Gets a little soupy, a little sticky by the weekend, and our rain chances start going out, especially the early part of next week. Until then, you'll have to get out and do a little watering.
Coming up, that new video of George Clooney's motorbike crash, the star colliding with a car flying into the air, what we're learning now about his condition this morning.
I have type 2 diabetes.